Hello, everybody, and I would like to thank my wonderful subscribers.
Hello everybody, and today we are going to be watching Mr. Nightmare 3 Scary 2 Apple Airtag Horror Stories. So, if you don't know what an Airtag is, I'm pretty sure it's a device that lets you track its location. So I'm pretty sure, basically, you have an app or something, and it tells you where the AirTag is. So you can basically, put it on your backpack or in your bag, and it will let you track where that item is. Of course, well, the intentions, for making it were probably good. We also have to acknowledge that there is a lot of potential for evil here too. For example, what if I don't put it on my backpack, I put it in somebody else's, and that lets me track them all the way to their house, where I could murder them. So yeah, that is the type of horror stories I'm expecting in today's episode. So, yeah, let's just get into it right now. Let's see, how horrifying these actually get. Turn it on, put this here. Oh, wait, I forgot I had it put on. I forgot I had it put on this one. Put it at normal, go here. Wait, something like this, yeah. Make it spookier. Ooh, that is creepy. Amy L. Shidori 1.
This happened to me back in late November of 2024 when I was 18.
18.
I was at the Walden Galleria Mall in Buffalo.
A mall?
Just doing some early Christmas shopping for my family.
Aw, that's nice.
I like to get my Christmas shopping over with.
I don't shop
I
for
also
anybody.
like going to the mall during Christmas time because of the decorations and general vibe. Something about shopping when that Christmas feeling is in the air makes it more enjoyable to me.
Yeah?
I had like 3 bags with me already.
Wow.
I stopped in Victoria's Secret,
You really
Zara,
care.
and Sephora. I got my brother and dad something from Zara, and my sister and mom stuff from Sephora.
Yeah.
I also got myself a bunch of stuff.
Yeah?
I'd already been in the mall for hours, and I wanted to just sit and collect myself. I sat on one of the benches not far from the tall tree that the mall puts up every year.
Do you have a purse?
There were still people in the mall, but it was closing soon. So
Okay,
there were less
wow.
and less with each passing
shopper.
minute. A man came and sat down next to me.
Ooh.
He cracked a joke at first, which I laughed at. He
What
seemed
kind
like
of
this
joke?
innocent older guy, like 62 or something.
Ooh,
He
18?
reminded me, honestly, of a skinny Santa Claus, ironically.
Damn.
We talked for a couple of minutes. The things he said that mainly stuck out to me were him talking about how he'd been coming to this mall since it opened, and how he was scared it was going to shut down.
Really?
He said I looked like his daughter,
Oh.
and then showed me a picture of her on his phone.
Did they look the same?
I didn't see a resemblance at all, to be honest.
Wow.
In fact, the girl looked absolutely nothing like me, or him for that matter. It was all...
Yeah, no, that is definitely 100% a random person who he just took a picture of. But yeah, no, that's definitely the kind of thing somebody would pull. Although, the fact that he didn't look up a picture that at least looked like you is like, poor work. Poor craftsmanship.
Also a picture of a girl who looked like she was 18. He looked like he could have been her grandfather, honestly.
Damn.
Eventually,
Age
I felt it was time to
racism.
leave. So I slightly awkwardly got up and said goodbye and walked away. I didn't look back to see if he was watching me. I like to avoid awkwardness in every way.
That's
I got to my
everybody.
car and started my drive home. I live only about 10 minutes from the mall.
You have a purse?
My family has several homes.
A pocket?
And it's often that I'm alone with just my brother in this house.
Okay.
This was one of those spans of time. This night was a Thursday, I believe. My brother goes to University of Buffalo and often goes out Thursday nights. This night was no exception. Our house is in a cul-de-sac with 2 other big houses. And when I turned right into the cul-de-sac, I moved around to our house.
Okay.
This cul-de-sac is unusual.
How?
It isn't one big open court. It has a circular patch of grass with some trees in the middle.
Okay,
So it
that's
more so
good
resembles
image.
a roundabout. Around this time, right before pulling into the driveway, I got a message on my phone.
Oh no.
It said, Airtag found moving with you.
Oh!
I panicked, but instead of pulling into the driveway, I looped around and drove back down the street.
Oh, that's nice. Like, what, your phone can tell, like, oh, hey, this item is, like, with you and you don't know it? That's cool. Okay, I like how Apple, like, it tells you something, it realizes, oh, hey, this might be bad, and it tells you something to help you. Okay, that's smart. That's nice. You know, it prevents creepos. I think you caught on.
Tracked. I had to make sure this AirTag was actually in or on my car. I figured out how to make the AirTag make a noise, and partially expecting it to come from the outside of the car.
Inside?
I heard a beeping sound coming from one of my shopping bags.
Well, yeah, they put it in there.
I dug through the bag and pulled out an AirTag, actually feeling like throwing up.
I bet.
I put the car back in drive and drove further down the block, where I chucked the AirTag out the window. Then I turned around and floored it back to the house.
Ha!
I drove
never
into the driveway
know.
and ran inside, where I opened the garage, hoping to hide the car in there. But my mom's car was in there. I had no choice but to leave the car outside.
Okay, well, hopefully he doesn't
closed the garage door and locked the front door.
Okay.
I called my brother Cody for safe measures, just letting him know what happened.
Okay.
He said if anyone comes to the house, call him. Him saying that alone scared me, especially hearing in his tone that he wasn't...
Well, actually, you know what would have been, like, a smart thing to do? Like, if you were to, like, tell the police, right? Like, this is illegal. Like, what you could have done is you could have put it in front of somebody else's house. Then you could have called 911 and said, hello, sir, I found an AirTag in one of my bags. I put it in front of this address. Please, track it. You know, you can put it in your own house, but, you know, I should bet that you want to keep yourself away from danger more as long as possible. So, yeah. You think I told the police about it? Definitely, you could. Like, I don't know, like, get the police involved. This is one of those situations where you could totally do it. Like, you have the AirTag. That is proof of criminality. But okay.
But he also sounded kind of drunk.
Ah.
I went to
well,
the
that no
room
help.
and tried to just take my mind off of it, but I wouldn't have written this if that's where it ended. The sound of the doorbell made me sick immediately.
Shit.
It was like in the back of my mind, I was dreading it.
Get a knife and check it. Check the door.
3 loud, distinct knocks. I slowly walked over to the door, like tiptoeing, and I stopped when a slightly muffled man's voice on the other side said,
it was a boy.
Hey, Ashley, I think you might have my AirTag. And
why?
It hit me instantly. It was that man from the mall.
Yeah?
He probably purposely threw his AirTag into my Sephora bag to stalk me home. He saw me through the textured glass.
Oh, shit.
When I guess he saw me hurrying away, I heard him yell that he promises he dropped the AirTag in there by accident.
What?
I didn't listen to a word he said.
How?
Even if he was telling the truth, the AirTag wasn't in my house, and he'd have seen that. It meant he saw me go to the house, and that's all he wanted.
Okay, yeah, no, you don't need to explain to me. I automatically got why it was horrifying and why it doesn't make sense. You don't need to justify any of your positions here. He needs to justify his. But also, man, never have a door that, like, has glass. Like, think about it. All this person has to do to get into the house is, like, break it with a hammer or a gun, and then all they have to do is open it, assuming that it isn't a key lock. Give me under that. That did not look like it needs a key. They might be able to open it from the inside. Like, no. Next time, you need to get a door that doesn't have a massive window. Do a peephole if you want to know who's outside. No. This part wouldn't have happened if you had a peephole.
I called Cody again, and at first he thought I was joking.
No.
But when he heard I was serious, he said he was on his way home.
Good.
The downtown bars are not far
Blood
away,
turd.
so I'd only have to wait maybe 10 minutes. When I peeked back at the door, I could no longer see the man through the glass.
Are
Maybe he
all
was
the
gone,
doors
I thought.
locked?
I went to the living room and turned on the TV to drown out the silence.
Yeah.
I was trying not to think about the man at the door. I just waited
You don't
for
know
Cody.
if he's
And
gone.
out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement.
At a window?
I looked over, but now I didn't see anything.
Oh, shit.
I sat there trying to convince myself there was nothing. Maybe the man left. Somehow, I did briefly convince myself of that.
No.
But after a minute or two of watching TV,
Oh, no.
I heard the same voice from outside that window say, "I love it when they play dumb."
Oh.
I looked, and he was standing right outside the window.
Oh.
His face pressed against the glass.
Oh.
He
Oh,
smiled
God.
when he saw me notice him. It was that old man from the
Oh,
mall.
God.
He lifted his hand and tapped on the window,
No.
then said, "Don't pretend you don't know I'm watching you."
Why is it open?
I called
Well,
Cody and yelled into the phone that
why
the
you
man was
did
at
no
the window.
cover?
He said he was almost home and told me to
Cover
call
the
911.
window.
So I hung up and did just that.
Yeah.
The man just kept standing there watching me, smiling like this was a game.
It
I couldn't
was.
take it anymore, so I left the living room to the office where there were no windows.
Good.
A few minutes later, I heard Cody
Did
pull
you
into the
lock it?
driveway. Cody ran inside, but when we looked back at the window, the man was gone.
Duh.
The cop who arrived searched, but found no footprints or anything. The cop was not very familiar with the process for reporting an Airtag, but he gave me a police report number to use, and he suggested contacting Apple to start the process of tracking the owner.
How would we do
The
that?
next day, I tried that, but it turned out it would be a much more involved legal process than I was expecting. When I simply didn't hear or see anything else for a couple of weeks, I just lost interest. Maybe the
But
man
there's
saw
more?
my brother and cops arrived, so he bailed and didn't come back.
Well, yeah,
But to be
duh.
honest, I have thought back on this, and on the girl's pictures on his phone.
They were
And I hope
fake.
to God that wasn't another girl who he potentially kidnapped or worse. I truly hope that was just a random girl's picture he took off social media or something.
Yeah, we hope. Okay, so, that one was good. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, I don't know if I would actually do this, but what I should do, or what you should do, the moment you realize, oh hey, I have an Airtag in my car, I would keep driving. I would go, I would call 911 as soon as I found the Airtag. I would keep driving while having 911 on the phone. And I would just drive to a different neighborhood and I say, oh hey, I found an Airtag. What the hell do I do? And then you follow what the person is saying, because hopefully the 911 dispatcher has some good ideas for what to do in this situation. So yeah, maybe they could track it or something. I don't know. Would have been smart. But because I get it, you want to get rid of it as soon as possible.
This experience changed me for the worse.
Shit.
I'm not the same person I was before it all happened.
I hate
fear I never will be
PTSD.
again. My name is Claire.
Okay.
This didn't happen so long ago that I've forgotten about it.
I
It's
bet
not like
not.
it happened last week either. I no longer live where this story took place, so that's why I
Okay.
feel comfortable talking about it now.
With your name.
I had just moved to a new city for a promotion at work.
Okay.
It wasn't anything too exciting, just your standard mid-sized city.
Oh.
It was a Tuesday evening when the
Tuesday?
first strange thing happened.
What was
I
it?
was driving home from work, which, mind you, is just a short 15-minute commute.
That
And I was
nice.
listening
So
to a
fun.
podcast when my phone buzzed.
Airtag.
It was a notification I had never seen before. Airtag found moving with you.
Shit.
At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone had dropped their keys in the parking lot, or maybe it was just one of my friends
What do
playing
you
a prank.
mean?
But as soon as I opened the notification, I was horrified. The app said the Airtag had been moving with me for over an hour.
Oh no.
That meant it had been in my car the entire commute. Or worse, in the parking lot before I even got in.
Yeah.
I checked the back seat, under the seats, in the glove compartment, and even in the trunk. But there was nothing.
It's under,
No
yeah.
Airtag. And
Yeah.
beyond that, there was nothing unfamiliar or out of place
Under
either.
your car?
I instantly knew what was going on.
It's
Someone had
outside.
placed an Airtag in my car, and whoever it was knew where I went. Worse, they knew where I was.
Yeah.
I tried to stay calm, but it was hard.
Yeah.
Unable to
Call
find the
911.
AirTag, I had no choice but to drive home.
No!
Meaning I'd be leading a potential stalker directly to my apartment.
You don't have to
but
go
I
home.
had no other option. Once I got home, I checked my car again. This time more thoroughly. I still
Outside?
couldn't find it though, despite my phone insisting it was there.
Outside the car.
logical part of me wanted to call the police.
Yes.
I hesitated.
Why?
What could they do? There was no device to show them, and even if there was...
Well, yeah, okay. You can't find the device. I don't know why you can't. Maybe it's in the hood. Maybe it's under the tar. Did you check under the tar? Did you check the tailpipe? Did you check the top of the tar? Yeah, if you have duct tape, you can just duct tape it on there. Yeah, what? But yeah, no, yeah. The reason why you would tell the police is so they can also search your car. Because I am sure they would have technology, or at least they would do a better job searching your car. But also, what am I trying to say here? Well, you should just, in the first story, they were able to make the AirTag beep, right? They made it do a noise. Can you not do that? Or was that a new feature, or what?
There was no direct evidence of who had placed it.
The notification.
I calmed myself down with some reassuring facts.
What?
My apartment had decent security, so
okay.
It wasn't the end of the world if someone knew where I lived.
Well,
it wasn't like I could undrive home. Whoever the AirTag belonged to already
you had
knew my
time
location,
to turn.
Which no police or anyone else could change.
Yeah.
So I tried to ignore it.
You could track it.
The next morning, I drove to work as usual.
The reason why you can't avoid it.
Popped up again when I got to work, but I ignored it.
What do you mean you ignored it?
Efforts, I didn't get much done that day. I couldn't stop thinking about the stupid AirTag.
How could you?
When I got home that evening, I decided I had to find the thing.
Yeah.
I spent probably an hour going through my car, checking every possible hiding spot, even though I had already checked most of them the day before.
Okay.
Right when I was about to give up again, I ran my hand along the crack where the back seat meets the back, and my fingers hit something solid. I already knew what it was.
Yeah.
I took the thing inside, trying to ignore how violently my hands were shaking.
Okay, so it was in your car. Okay, so you didn't check hard enough. I thought it would be, outside the car. And that would be difficult. Although I guess inside has a lot more shit.
Back, and my fingers hit something solid.
Okay.
I already knew what it was. I took the thing inside, trying to ignore how violently my hands were shaking.
I bet.
I ended up just taking the battery out of it because I didn't know what else to do.
Take it to the police.
Because it could have been used as evidence.
Yes.
But I didn't like the thought of it still being active.
Call
The
911.
thought that someone had been watching my every move for days, maybe weeks, made me feel exposed in a way that I had never felt before.
Duh.
That night, while I was trying to sleep, I kept thinking about who could have planted that thing in the first place.
Why haven't you told 911
there were a fair
yet?
share of guys in my life, ex-boyfriends, friends of friends, flings, but no one who would have done something so messed up.
Okay.
The next evening, I came home late from work after a pretty awful day.
What happened?
I went to unlock my apartment door,
And?
something I had done 100 times.
Yeah.
And I froze.
What?
My apartment door was already wide open.
Shit.
I live alone. No one, not my parents, not any of my friends, should have been inside.
Yeah.
I didn't go inside. That would have been a terrible decision.
Call 911.
Instead, I went straight back to my car and called the police.
Yes.
They checked the apartment thoroughly. There was no definitive evidence of anyone ever being there. No fingerprints, no forced entry, nothing to indicate someone had actually been inside.
Yeah, what about the
I ended up
AirTag?
showing them the AirTag notifications and told them everything that had been happening the past few days.
Yeah.
The police kept asking me if I had a history of being stalked, or if I knew anyone who would do such a thing.
You say no.
I didn't. The
Okay.
whole thing was such a nightmare.
Yeah.
Things did die down slightly after that. My stalker had probably gotten wind of the police visit, but I ended up moving out anyway.
Well, yeah, you have to
Luckily,
now.
I don't think that person followed or tracked me to my new place.
How
But
could
it still
they?
gets at me that someone in my life stalked and broke into my apartment.
Yeah.
The worst part, though, the thing that makes this all so scary,
What?
is that I still have no idea how they broke into my apartment in the first place.
I don't know, yacht
The
pit.
door wasn't damaged or broken into.
Yacht pit.
It was simply unlocked with a key that no one else should have had.
I don't know, are your doors on yacht pittable? Because you live in an apartment. If it's old enough, like, the doors might be pittable. But even if they're not, maybe they, like, either they made a double or they put a spare key that would open your room. I'm pretty sure all apartment buildings have to have, like, a double key for the owner. It might be the owner. I don't know if this situation would have been any different if, like, I don't know if this situation would have been any different if you told the police immediately. But, like, maybe it would have been. Like, maybe if you told the police immediately, they wouldn't even have tried to, like, go into your apartment. Maybe you wouldn't be so traumatized. I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm not victim blaming, but, like, choices. Shidori 3, anonymous. Did the whole video? Wow, that's a yawn.
This happened a few years ago.
Okay.
I want to remain as anonymous as possible while telling this story, for reasons you'll soon understand.
Okay.
I'm from an upper middle class suburb, but that's as much information as I'm comfortable giving. The nightmare I'm about to tell you about took place over several months and led to a slew of legal issues that, at times, made me genuinely question whether my life was going to be ruined.
Ooh.
In other words, it wasn't just stressful and scary, but truly overwhelming on a level that's difficult to capture. I don't mean that as a joke or a figure of speech.
No, I don't think you do.
I spent hours staring at the ceiling while considering some very dark things.
Ooh.
This all started a couple weeks after I broke up with my first serious girlfriend after college.
Okay.
Let's just call her Devin.
Devin?
I'm not gonna get into it.
Okay.
I refuse to do that to myself. But let's just say we did not end on good terms.
Oh.
Despite that, I wasn't too beat up about breaking things off.
Oh, yeah.
She was psychotic, and I was kind of relieved to let it go. I had this friend named Zenon. Weird name, I know, but his parents have always been very wealthy, eccentric, and completely out of touch with reality. He throws parties pretty frequently at this huge property he inherited from them.
Okay.
Which is something I still don't really understand, since it's not like they passed away or anything. But that's his world, not mine. I was at one of these parties where I ran into one of my ex's friends, who I'll just call Taylor.
Oh, no.
Seeing her there wasn't the most surprising thing in the world. Most people in our area know Zenon, and basically everyone went to the same high schools and colleges around here. Plus, most of the people who left for college
I've never been
ended
to
up
one of
coming
these
back
parties.
anyway. What was surprising was how aggressively and obviously she was coming on to me.
Oh.
Taylor had always talked about me to Devin while we were dating, so I found her behavior extremely strange. But
maybe she just wanted you.
And I ultimately gave in after a few more beers.
What?
And before you jump to call me stupid, if you knew
You
what
were
Taylor
drunk.
looked like, you wouldn't blame me.
Really?
The two of us ended up hooking up in one of the upstairs bedrooms.
Damn, in the house?
Significantly more days than she was, because I hadn't even started getting dressed before she was already halfway out the room. As I was leaving the room myself, I realized my wallet was no longer in my pants pocket.
Oh.
Taylor had disappeared at that point.
Yeah.
Probably to go flirt with some other guy in the crowd.
No, you find her and get your wallet.
After maybe 20 minutes of searching, I gave up. I ran back upstairs to the room we'd been in and searched everywhere, but my wallet was nowhere to be found.
Well, you
my
need
next
that.
instinct was to call her.
Yeah.
But it took me all of 10 seconds to remember that
You
I
don't
was still
have-
blocked from when Devin and I had broken up.
Damn.
And since there was no way I'd be unblocking Devin, you couldn't pay me to do that. I had no way of getting in contact with Taylor. Losing my wallet didn't bother me all that much, though. It was probably just the alcohol. But I decided to ignore the problem for the rest of the night, enjoy the party, and honestly,
You didn't
relish
worry
in the
about
fact that
like
I'd gotten
your
one
money
over
and
on
your
my ex
credit
by hooking up
cards.
with her friend. I don't remember much after that. I'm pretty sure one of my buddies ended up driving me home.
Yeah.
The second I woke up the next morning, I instantly remembered the Airtag I kept in my wallet for situations exactly like the one from the night before.
Oh,
I
okay.
pulled up my iPhone and saw that it was active.
Oh, let me guess. It is near you. Maybe it's not in your house, but it is near you. Or it's at Taylor's house. But that's cool. This AirTag belongs to him. Okay, that is a subversion. That's neato. Let me hear about it.
It was Saturday, meaning I didn't have to work, so I decided to ignore my brutal hangover and track my wallet down.
Yeah.
The location was showing up at one of the local gyms.
Oh,
so I figured I'd drive over there and confront
Are we
Taylor for
wrong?
stealing it, or determine if she had taken it by accident. Or hell, if someone else entirely had found it. As soon as I stepped out of my car and started walking toward the gym entrance, the AirTag went offline.
Wow.
Which I found strange, borderline impossible timing.
Yeah.
The receptionist at the front desk refused to let me look around without a membership.
Wow.
Which frustrated me more than it should have.
Okay.
So instead, I walked the perimeter of the building like some kind of weirdo, looking through the glass to see if I could spot Taylor inside. But I didn't see her anywhere.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't see anyone I recognized at all.
Yeah.
Not Devin, not any of my friends, not some random person from Zenon's party. No one.
I wouldn't recognize
The AirTag was still
anybody
offline,
like that.
so I had no choice but to just go home and bury my frustrations in whatever work I needed to get done before Monday.
Okay.
All my cards were already canceled at that point, so I couldn't imagine what use someone would have for an empty wallet. I
Yeah.
kept checking its location periodically throughout the rest of the day, but it didn't come back online. Not until the next day around noon, when I saw that it was once again online,
Ooh.
this time at some random park nearby. So I again rushed to my car and
Wait,
drove
let
out
me
to
guess.
its
It
location,
gotta go
determined
offline.
to get to the bottom of what was going on. But the exact same thing happened. As soon as I exited my car, the AirTag
I
went
knew
offline.
it. But
It was
why?
like someone was doing it deliberately to mess with me.
Yeah.
There were a handful of people in the park, but again, no one I recognized.
This could be a
I
trap.
was a bit more desperate this time around,
You
so
don't?
I actually started jogging around the park a little,
You
but to
looking
no
for it?
avail.
Yeah.
As I was getting back to my car, I felt this sick feeling start bubbling up.
What is it?
Like I was being watched.
Oh no.
Worse, like I was being observed. How could
Look
someone
at the
disable
shame.
an AirTag the moment I showed up?
They know
must have been
where
watching
you
me.
are.
It was a really uncomfortable thought, but there was nothing I could do about it. Looking back, that was the first time I suspected something sinister might have been going on.
Yeah.
After I got home, I did some research and found out that whoever had my wallet was probably removing and replacing the AirTag battery to take it on and offline.
Nice fun.
It was infuriating to think that someone, probably Taylor,
Messing
was
with
toying
you?
with me like this.
Well, just don't
I had
care
work the
anymore.
next day, so it wasn't like I could devote much energy to the situation.
Yeah.
But for the next few days, the AirTag stayed offline.
I mean, to be fair, what is really the point of getting your wallet back anymore? You canceled all the cards, right? So, like, and not like there's any reason to get the credit cards back, right? I guess, like, whatever pocket change you have. But yeah, I can't imagine it would be worth going to these different places and just, like, worrying about it. I guess you had, like, ID or, like, I don't know, like your phone number or a car key or something.
I decided to give up on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Refusing to give Taylor the satisfaction of watching me wander around like a lost puppy.
Aw.
But of course, the moment I started getting on with my life, everything hit the fan again.
How?
Only what happened next was about 1,000 times worse.
What?
I was lying in bed, trying to fall asleep, when the sound of shattering glass jolted me
Oh,
awake.
shit.
It had been so long, literally years, since I had experienced true terror, that I can only describe it
What
as
was the first
suffocation.
time?
I physically couldn't breathe for about 15 seconds.
Hurry.
It felt like someone was choking me.
Somebody
After finally
might.
snapping out of my haze,
Lock
I called
the door.
911 and told them what was going on.
Yes.
Then I locked my bedroom door
Thank
and
you.
listened as the person below me started tearing through the place.
Shit.
I wanted to go down there and confront them. I did,
No.
I swear. But I didn't have access to a weapon, and I wasn't about to lose my life over some personal belongings.
Yeah.
So I waited.
Good
But from the
option.
sound of it, the intruder was gone long before the police arrived. And they
Shit.
were. The police took my statement, and I gave them a catalog of everything that was missing.
Okay.
My laptop, my monitor, some miscellaneous electronics, and a few
Miscellaneous?
other things. You might be wondering why I didn't connect the break-in to the AirTag situation.
You didn't?
Which is a fair point. And I did think about it, but I ultimately figured that would have been unnecessarily dramatic and paranoid.
What do you mean?
Fast forward a few weeks. I still check the location.
What do you mean? It's dramatic. Your wallet goes missing when you're at a party. You check the AirTag the next day. You see it at a gym. The second you go to the gym, it turns off. Then, you go home. However long it was later, suddenly it turns back on at a park. So, And yes, the battery can just pop off and pop back in, right? With the slightest jolt. It's intentional. It can't just go on and off. Can it? Right? What? No, at this point, you should have connected it. You're not being paranoid.
Of that Airtag from time to time, just out of curiosity.
Why?
But every time I did,
it was offline. Duh.
That is, until one random time it wasn't.
Oh,
it was showing up at a decently popular bar that I'd been to a handful of times.
Oh no, that's creepy.
Despite having promised myself that I wouldn't be suckered into someone else's game again.
Why?
I couldn't resist.
Why?
What happened when I got there really shouldn't surprise you.
What?
As soon as I was in spitting distance of the bar,
it turned
this
off.
time with a hoodie on, trying to be inconspicuous. The Airtag went offline.
No.
But this time, I couldn't just swallow my rage and frustration.
What?
I actually started going up to random people in the line and accusing them of having taken my wallet.
Okay, well, no, you shouldn't do that.
I was just approaching people at random. And even though I knew I was causing a scene,
yeah.
I couldn't stop. Everyone was staring at me.
Yeah, no, you are not good here.
To the point where one of the bouncers had to come over and physically kick me off the premises.
Damn.
It was one of the most embarrassing and infuriating moments of my life.
Yeah.
I got played just one more time after that.
And the
this
worst
time at a
one.
random coffee shop in the middle of the day, before I swore to never check the Airtag's location again, this time for real.
But
just over a week later, my life damn near ended.
What?
This is where excess detail becomes really risky.
Okay.
But please know that what I said earlier is 100% true.
Okay, yeah, I
believe
next you.
Caused irreparable damage to my mental health.
What
put me in a very dark place. I was getting ready for work one day when there was a knock at my door. It was the police, and they had an arrest warrant with my name on it for suspicion of stalking, along with a search warrant for my house.
No, I could not handle it.
They were looking for a journal that was supposedly hidden in one of my dresser drawers.
What?
I had no idea what was going on. I told them there was no journal in my room, but they weren't.
Wait, let me take a wild dash. Okay, so what happened was, whoever had been stalking you, whoever the perpetrator is, they took your Airtag and put it somewhere to make you look like a stalker. And then this notebook, they had to have planted it when they broke into your house, or any of the times when you weren't in the house. Yeah, that's probably it. They put it in your drawer, slid it under something, and then maybe they told the police or something, and told them you were the bad guy. This is why you should have mentioned the Airtag. If they knew that, maybe, just maybe, they would be a little more trusting of you.
Asking for my permission.
I'm telling them everything.
Still, I insisted that there was no journal anywhere in my room, but they found one anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't see them find it. I was already in the back of a police car in handcuffs by then.
Okay.
The next few months of my life were an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Apparently, Devin had been crafting a case against me without my knowledge for over a month.
Wow.
She had produced what seemed like an overwhelming amount of evidence that I'd been stalking her during that entire period of time. Even though in reality, I hadn't seen or communicated with her once. There were pictures of me that she claimed to have taken at the gym, that one park, and the other locations. Locations that I'd been lured to by the Airtag. It was her the whole time. She had text messages that supposedly proved she was at those locations when those photos were taken. Even though I knew for a fact that she hadn't been at any of them. But it gets worse. She had a series of text messages that had apparently been sent from my phone to hers over the course of several weeks. Really disturbing, harassing messages. Stuff an actual stalker would say. Yeah. Which is basically what I was at that point.
Well, yeah. You weren't kind to Taliki.
Devin would plead and beg, quote-unquote, me to stop contacting her, saying my actions were damaging her mental state. She's bipolar and takes medication for it, and she was saying that what I was doing was causing her to live in constant fear and anxiety.
Wow.
She even claimed that the stress from my harassment made her crash her car, among some other things I don't want to repeat.
Who wants to bet she did it?
I had no proof of anything, and she had it all. The journal was the most damning piece of evidence.
She planted it.
Supposedly contained pages upon pages of me detailing Devin's daily schedule and having these psychotic conversations with myself about all the sick, nasty things I was going to do to her. Reading it made me feel sick.
Yeah.
Not just because it was so disturbing, but because I didn't write a single bit of it.
Yeah, I knew that.
No lawyer could help me. Her evidence was too overwhelming.
Yeah.
I couldn't prove any of it was fabricated. At one point, I was being advised to plead guilty.
What?
Guilty to a slew of crimes I didn't commit
Yeah.
and would never think about committing.
Okay, listen, I'm not a lawyer. I have no experience in legal matters. But I don't know. It would have been better if you told the police and told them about all this stuff. Because then, at least on the record, it would be said, oh, there's an AirTag, and I keep looking for it, and I can't find it. Because, obviously, this is very important to you. You went to multiple places trying to find this wallet. Trying to find this AirTag. If you had alerted the police at least once or twice during these investigations, then maybe you would have at least a bit of proof that you were not chasing her, you were chasing your AirTag. This looks so bad.
It was utterly disgusting. It made me feel like a disgusting human being.
Really?
What ended up saving me was something completely out of my control.
What?
This guy Devin was sleeping with, I won't even bother naming him, called the police and confessed his role to the whole scheme.
Ha! What was it?
Told them that Devin had given him my AirTag, which she gotten from Taylor after Zenin's party.
Wow.
According to him, Devin had instructed him to lure me to different locations, remove the battery when he spotted me, and take inconspicuous pictures of me from a distance. He agreed to it because he thought it was some kind of funny joke at first.
What?
But text messages between him and Devin revealed that he started having second thoughts when she began talking about planting evidence in my house. The texts also showed exactly how she'd done that too.
How?
She apparently had made a copy of my house keys without my knowledge while we were still dating.
Damn!
Things went pretty
Creepy.
quickly after that. Under pressure to now tell the truth, Devin ended up admitting to everything,
Ha ha.
including breaking into my house herself.
Damn.
She'd stolen my laptop because she knew my password, another thing I had no idea about, and she planned to use it to send those harassing messages to herself. Her logic was that she could later claim that I'd sent them from my phone and then deleted them, and that my laptop had been stolen, so it couldn't be used as evidence against her story. She said breaking in and making it look like a random robbery was safer than constantly sneaking into my house over several weeks to send messages and delete them.
Wow.
Everything was eventually dismissed, and justice was served.
Yeah, that's
But I don't
good.
think I'll ever recover from what happened.
How could you?
I bet this story is already pretty long.
Yeah.
But I could write pages and pages more about it.
Man.
I haven't even given you the specifics of the aftermath. The way my family and friends alienated me.
Ooh.
Or even the painful process of keeping my name off the internet. I haven't given you my theories about why my ex would go to those lengths in the first place.
She's crazy.
Or the kinds of stunts she used to pull while we were dating. I don't know if I'll ever feel comfortable dating someone again. That's the worst part.
You don't have to.
The idea that someone could manipulate technology and the legal system to effectively destroy my life, and almost get away with it, is something that will forever terrify me.
That is such beautiful horror. Like, that plan was so beautifully evil that if this was a fiction, I would almost admire the villain. But I can't, because there's a real person and I'm hearing it from his point of view. I can't admire that. But like, man, that was like chef's kiss, like beautiful evil planning. Like I was wondering why you were luring you out to all these places. And it was to make you look like asleep. And it's fun, because not fun, it's not funny, but it's neat, because she tricked you so epically. You were looking for an AirTag, but she made it look like you were looking for her. And the fact that you were almost completely doomed, you could have done, you could have told the police. Yeah, you could have informed them about the AirTag. So that is something you could have done. But oh man, now I'm scared of my own technology. Shit. Oh, wow, we are at 40 minutes. Shit, I can cut this short. But anyway, great video. The last one was obviously the best. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!